All right, so welcome to Press Pause Games Weekly. I'm your host, David Goldberg, and I'm here with my co-host,
Matt Galvin, and we have a special guest,
Arun Dillon.
All right, welcome, Aaron. So we decided to change the title. It was previously Round Table, not to confuse you, but now we change it to Press Pause Gaming Weekly.
Yeah, we thought like Round Table is like, what the fuck is that? Is it pizza? Like, is it
The
like,
Knights of the
you
Round
know,
Table.
Knights of the Round Table? We started doing other channels too, so we got to had to change it up.
We started LARPing, you know, we wanted to
No, I've always wanted to
be King Arthur.
Yeah, fireball.
It sounds like the coolest thing.
What would you be, like a wizard?
I would be whatever's the guy with the giant great sword who just
Hits people?
swing everybody.
But it would be foam though, right?
It'd be fun. I would just spin around in a circle so nobody would touch me.
Yeah, I would love to do it too, so maybe we could do it together.
do it,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's super lame though.
Yeah,
Kind of
but
embarrassing.
Everyone else who's doing is also lame.
Yeah.
So we're all lame together.
That's true.
Well, stay tuned for Press Pause LARPing.
Yeah, that's going to be an awesome show. Press Pause
Hone
LARPing.
your geekiness. All right, moving on.
Yeah, we launched 2 new shows. We got Press Pause Rewind, which is retro movies, and Press Pause Now Showing, which is new movies. And then Dave's going to have...
Press Pause Retro games 20 years older or more.
This will be the show that you get your gaming news from every week. The top biggest ones are classic discussions, and then you're going to do retro gaming.
Right. It's in the works, but we're hoping to have it out by early June.
To recap, we have basically 2 gaming shows, 2 movie shows. All right, sorry, I'm getting this off topic.
Right.
Bring us back, David.
Keep that in mind. So let's get to the top 5 biggest gaming stories of the week. Number 5, we have Assassin's Creed.
And it's called Assassin's Creed Origin, which is the title, well, the rumored title.
That's only number 5.
Yeah,
This is
that's
only
number 5.
That's the most exciting story.
That's the biggest one? Well,
For
you're-
me, anyway.
Well,
yeah.
you're a big AC fan, that's why,
huge,
yeah.
huge.
See, I played the games. I was never like a huge fan, but they're definitely good games. We found this on the Assassin's Creed subreddit.
That's where it leaked, yeah. It was subreddit for AC, and everyone was like, oh, this is bullshit, but then they posted a screenshot, which is like legit.
And it's probably been the worst kept secret
Ever.
in the last 3 years.
Kotaku has talked about it, and then like other people have talked about it. It's Egypt.
Guy on a boat, assuming the Nile.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other rivers in Egypt.
Naval combat is one of the rumors, yeah. And then
multiple protagonists.
multiple
right?
protagonists.
Which is-
And they did that, like...
Syndicate.
Syndicate did that,
Which
yeah.
I really liked. I think one of the rumors that they also leaked was that it's going to be heavily based on exploration, similar to Skyrim was the quote they used, which I think, if that's true, and I feel like Black Flag did the exploration pretty
I
well.
loved Black Flag, yeah.
That this could potentially be the best Assassin's Creed game, and that's why I'm super excited for it.
The cool thing, I think, about this Assassin's Creed, this is the first one they've done in a long time that they took almost 2 years to make. Normally they pump out an AC game every single year. They took this year off. This is the first time there's not been a mainstream full Assassin's Creed.
Do you think that they're kind of gonna switch off now with their big franchises like Far Cry, then Watch Dogs?
I think that would be a
then
better
Assassin's Creed
idea
every
because then the
2 years?
quality would go
Yeah,
up if you give 2 years of
And
development time.
we've had some issues with the quality in Far Cry. That's,
And Assassin's Creed, both of
Yeah.
them, because they're yearly releases. If this one took 2 years, I hope that it's just... I like the last one, the London one, but that was when fatigue really set in.
And it was good to have a break. One thing I think Ubisoft is really good at, which people may disagree with me on, is they're good at listening to the feedback from the fans.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think all the way back to Assassin's Creed 1, and the jump from Assassin's Creed 2 was pretty significant. Also, I remember Far Cry 2, there's so many frustrating things with Far Cry 2. Far Cry 3, they came back swinging.
Yeah.
Watch
They hit
Dogs
that
2.
one out of the park. I think Far Cry 3 is
Far Cry 3
awesome.
definitely, yeah. So they're good at listening to fan feedback, so I wouldn't be too surprised that this one is a hit.
You're probably the biggest AC fan out of all 3 of us. Did you see the movie? Did you like it?
No, I didn't see the movie. So
You didn't see the movie? No Fassbender, huh?
No.
So speaking of Far Cry, this is another Ubisoft rumor.
Basically, what happened is they were shooting a commercial. Montana. Sorry, why can't I say Montana? Montana, and everyone was like, oh, it's a Western game. Like, it's a company that's shooting a commercial for a Western game. And they were like, it must be Red Dead 2. Makes sense, right? But then people started like looking into it, and it turns out, and again, this is completely rumor, more so than the Assassin's Creed one. The Assassin's Creed one pretty much confirmed Egypt origin. That's legit. Like, this is more definitely take with a grain of salt. They did shoot at some sort of Western commercial for something, but we don't know if it's Far Cry. But everyone says it's Montana, it's a Western, and it's Far Cry, the new Far Cry. The last Far Cry they did was Primal, which was cavemen, so it's not out of the realm for them to try something totally different.
If it wasn't Red Dead Redemption 2, it's probably the worst timing for any Western-themed game.
Oh, yeah.
At least between this fall and either next fall, any Western release game is going to obviously be compared to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Nothing can compare to anything Rockstar does.
Exactly.
Like, no offense to anyone else, I like the Far Cry games a lot, but fucking Rockstar kills it, you know, like every time. Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, like they knock them out of the fucking park. So I really think I agree. If you're gonna make a Western game right now, it's like
hold off at least
stop.
until
Yeah.
maybe they're gonna pull what they did with Far Cry Primal. Because if I remember correctly, Primal was announced around November, December, and released that February. So maybe they're trying to get in before Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
So we haven't really heard any news about it. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it early this fall.
Montana for a Western, that seems like kind of a strange place to go. When think Western, you think like at least getting to Nevada or Arizona.
Did you play any of the Far Cries, David?
I have not played the Far Cry.
Any of them? Not even 1, 2?
I haven't even played one.
Shit. Everyone loves 2 a lot, but I would just say honestly go with 3.
I hate it too.
I've got another game to borrow.
I mean, this happens constantly with Ubisoft, and I think the reason why is because they have such huge teams. They have multiple teams that work on these games, so it's just like leaks all over the place. Like, it's so hard for them to keep something a secret. Other studios, like, they got it locked down. Like Bungie, it's like, you know, still some leaks are happening, but it's like pretty much, you know, a lot tighter.
Hasn't Assassin's Creed every single one been leaked?
And a screenshot too. It's not even like just a rumor. No. It's like you always get a screenshot.
This one has been leaked for the last 6 years. It seems like every year we get a new screenshot.
Well, Kotaku posted, even the Syndicate when they did the London one, they posted the original like graphics for that and stuff. And now we have, I think, 2 images. I saw an image like almost a year ago, like you said, from the Egypt one. Yep. And again, it could have been fake, but it looked pretty legit. This one is 100% legit, though. It's him on a boat. You know, tighten up security over at Ubisoft.
Like they've been pretty good with Far Cry as far as leaks goes. I don't remember anything. Far Cry Primal seemed like it came out of nowhere.
Far Cry Primal, that was my least favorite one out of them. It definitely felt like the quickest turnaround. There was not even multiplayer. It was the same map as Far Cry 4, which is crazy. People discovered that it was the same exact layout. They had just, you know, made it backwards and tweaked it around.
So much quicker than, I think the gap from 2 and 3 was pretty big, and then 3 to 4 was a little bit smaller, but still pretty big. And this one was less than 2 years.
Yeah. And the same thing, it's just fatigue for me started to like set in where I was just like, okay, I am so over this series right now. They need to like take a breath, Yugi, and like just look at what you need to change, because you got to keep evolving. Like, some people just like the same shit, spoon-fed the 2 of them over and over and over. Madden. But there's other people that, you know, they need something more, and there's only like, again, I've played every Assassin's Creed game, and like, I know you're a fan, but like, oh my god, are every one of those games basically the same?
Yeah, but I think the thing with Far Cry, the thing I was kind of disappointed between 3 and 4 is the fact that it was kind of set during the same time period, very similar environment. I know the paths of snow. At least, you know, with something in Assassin's Creed, they changed up the period a lot.
I do like that, yeah.
Where the only thing that worries me a little bit is while it's good for Assassin's Creed that the development time is extending.
Yeah.
Maybe the development time for the other series, Far Cry, Watch Dogs, is getting smaller, and those games might, you know.
Well, who gives a shit about Watch Dogs?
Like, I really liked Watch Dogs 1. I jumped on board with Watch Dogs 2.
I tried to play it and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, no, fuck Watch Dogs.
Anyway, moving on to Call of Duty. So
World War II, the
Call
new
of Duty
one.
World War II, the new one. You're going to be introduced to some other characters, like a Russo, a female French resistance fighter.
Ooh la la.
So we're getting out of D-Day. Obviously, the whole game is not going to be.
Really, it's not just the beach the whole time.
That would be pretty just a battle that entire game.
It's a long battle.
On the beach, yeah.
You could probably do it. You've got a Jewish guy that you're supposed to be like.
Right, that's the controversy about this. This is the news story. Is a lot of people are mad now that they have females and, I guess, a Jewish character.
Jewish people didn't exist during World War II.
They were in World War II.
They didn't, no. They didn't exist.
They were
during World
just
War II.
invented.
Yeah, they were just made up. It quasi makes sense if you're like a weird historian, you know, that you're just like, I want this authentic World War II experience. But like in multiplayer, who gives a fuck? You know, like
multiplayer can beat anything.
Yeah, it's like you die and you respawn. None of that is realistic. You know, it's a multiplayer thing.
If you want to choose to be, any gender, male, female character, like whatever,
I mean, like it's a giant, Activision is a giant company. Multi-million dollars are spent on these games. They want to be as inclusive as possible, which again, the irony, because it's like, people, no offense to the COD people. I like COD. I play the CODs, but like that, online community is fucking toxic. Awful. Yeah. And they always call you like shit like gay. And now it's like, now they don't want girls to play the multiplayer, which is like bizarre, it's crazy.
A lot of 9-year-old kids told me I was gay, but...
Was this in multiplayer or just in the real, just in the real world? Little kids are coming up to you telling you you're gay.
A little bit of both. Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of the Modern Warfare Remastered, which added female characters, and at that time, no one seemed to care when it first when that.
So wait, in the remaster, there's female characters, and then there wasn't in the original.
It wasn't in the original.
Wow. I feel this is like the shitty just bros. Not all of COD are terrible people. No. These are like the bro ones that are just kind of sexist, that say terrible, homophobic, sexist shit. And those are the people that are probably complaining about this, or historians, but let's be honest.
If on purpose, I'm gonna be a Jewish female every single time. I play multiplayer. I don't.
You're gonna get shit talked.
My wife is a Jewish female, so I'm gonna represent her only. Piss everybody off.
And you're gonna name your character her.
I'm gonna name it.
And then people can call her gay. And
exactly.
Horrible things to your wife. Yeah, it's great. Good for you.
All right, Payday 2 is our next gaming topic.
What's the news story though with Payday 2? Why are we bringing this up, dude?
Virtual reality.
What about it, David?
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
So you're going to be able to play Payday 2 in VR.
Right, you're going to be able to play it. They're doing a free mode. Supposedly it's rumored free. They might end up charging for it. I mean, they do microtransactions up the ass in Payday 2, so I'm surprised this is free. But they're adding a whole new mode that is completely VR. It's the same game. You could play it in multiplayer. And they showed a trailer. You saw it. What do you think of the trailer?
The trailer looked pretty cool. I've never played Payday 2. And I've been waiting for VR to make a big splash again. We saw a lot of it last year. There's a lot of hype surrounding it last year. I got to try it for the first time. My mind was blown away by the little bit that I played of it. And then it's kind of fizzled out, and we haven't heard much about it since the PlayStation VR. The fact that it's going to be the entire game, supposedly in VR, I think is pretty cool. We haven't really had that, have we?
Not like a multiplayer. There has to exist maybe one, but this is a game that they now retrofitted. It's a multiplayer game that you can play with friends. So in the trailer, they show stuff like they go into a bank and he's like shooting out the ceiling, and then he's healing his friend. It's the same game, but completely, immersive now. I hope that multiple first-person games, like, they do this. How cool would it be if like all these old first-person games that you played come out with a patch that you can play in VR?
VR is not a new concept. It's really been around since the 80s. I mean, you have arcade games where that's, essentially they try and be immersive, and you're
that tank one. Remember that tank one in the 90s where you put on the thing and you like...
And it was dumb.
Yeah, it was dumb.
I remember going to the dentist's office. They would have these VR type goggles, and you would be in there watching a movie, and I was watching Space Jam, and it was the greatest thing ever.
Really?
Why can't video games be like this?
What dentist did you go to? That sounds amazing.
I went there one time, watched Space Jam.
Were they drilling on you as you watched Space Jam?
I wouldn't even know. I was so immersed in Space Jam. I cried at the end. It was beautiful.
Michael Jordan in your face.
I never felt his arm was coming right at my face.
I'm glad you said arm. That's
bugs and dabs. We're talking about we might see in 50 years.
It's not 50 years. I think.
I'll say I'm saying 50. So
okay,
50.
he's putting it down right there. I think that I think VR's kind of stalled for a bit, but once we get more powerful systems, we're going to see some better VR stuff. And then again, I think the main thing that we're just missing is like a system seller. I think that if one company came out with something that's just as like a full-blown, like you said, experience, because a lot of these things are very short or just kind of demo-y or gimmicky. But if like Valve did Half-Life 3 and it was a VR exclusive, that would be like amazing.
Yeah, or even Elder Scrolls 6, something like that.
Oh yeah, Bethesda did like the next Fallout, like where you're just there and shit.
Exactly, we need something pretty big, and I remember when the whole VR craze happened a couple years ago at E3.
Yeah.
There was Fallout 3 in
VR.
So Bethesda.
Oh no, it's 4 in VR.
Fallout 4, sorry.
Yeah,
that's right. Fallout 4.
So want to run into a Deathclaw.
We have this on video now. David said 50 years is when we're gonna. 50
years. Over under 50 years.
50 years.
So this is what beat out Assassin's Creed for the biggest story of the week.
Yep.
All right, let's hear it.
According to me and David.
No. Destiny 2.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm excited. So GameStop put up a few hats on their website for Destiny with specific
logos.
creatures.
Yeah,
so
logos from the different
snake,
things. Yeah.
Phoenix and a lion.
Yeah.
And GameStop quickly removed those, so it was only on there for a little bit.
Well, obviously they put them too fucking.
They put them too fucking early, and what it ends up being, is these are probably subclasses for Titan, Warlock.
Yeah. So, we had the leaked images, a long time ago. The only leaked images that we had was from this guy that was doing a teaser for Destiny 2. And this is before they even announced Destiny 2. And what the teaser showed was a warlock with fire wings, a hunter with, a spear, and then a Titan with, a Captain America shield. These are the new subclasses, because from everything that we know so far about Destiny 2, this is a little disappointing. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a new class.
Right.
It just seems like there's going to be new powers.
What exactly is the significance of the lion and snake?
So they showed the hats had a hunter class we know is the snake. Mm-hmm. And then it's like a phoenix or a bird is the warlock, and then a lion. And we don't. Again, the weird thing is, the lion and the bird, we don't know if it's a phoenix or it's if it's a mythical creature or if it is a lion. It looks like a lion or it's a pigeon. Yeah, it could be a pigeon.
There's a separate lion. There's a lion, snake, and bird.
No. I'm saying is the debate is people don't know if that is actually a lion or an alien thing that is similar to a lion. Is what I'm saying. The hunter in Destiny 1 had a subclass which was the bow, and then you also had these smoke grenades that poison people. So a snake is kind of poisonous. It kind of makes sense. Some sort of power with a spear where maybe you get poison damage. The warlock, used to be resurrection. So a phoenix makes sense then, right? Some sort of firebird or something like that. So maybe it can hover and shoot fire or something, which would be cool. And then a shield, a Titan used to do the bubble. So maybe it does a shield and it can block things now. It's a defender class, subclass. So we don't know if the old powers are even coming back to Destiny 2. That's the cool thing about Destiny 2 is there's not a lot that has leaked. We just know that we have some sort of new subclasses. These hats seem to align with that. I actually got David into Destiny. He came in late game.
I'm not big on FPS, so this was good for me.
It was surprising. He liked it. I told him, I was like, Destiny is not like a normal FPS. It's got raids. It's got strikes. You can do co-op. You can do PvP. But you liked it a lot, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm excited for Destiny 2, and, it was the first sort of MMO FPS.
It's MMO light, yeah.
MMO-like. Yeah, and that I played, and I really got into it, and I liked the rating that you could have, a party of 6 going against
many late nights with David and I, 8 hours into the Access raid, the Wrath of the Machine, oh my god.
Access took that was 2 days of
fucking a nightmare trying to jump on the back. All you Destiny players know what we're talking about. Anyone else is what the fuck
You're
are these
speaking
two
Chinese to me.
Yeah, gibberish, yeah. But here's
something
the thing.
about a pigeon and a shield.
The interesting thing is I'm a hardcore Destiny player. I've literally got, it's one of the only games I platinum.
You have the shirt.
I have the shirt. They made multiple books in Destiny. They have multiple books that you have to do basically the most crazy shit, and they send you a shirt if you do all these things. I've gotten every book completed in that game.
Or you can pay $70,000
or you can pay $70,000 to get the shirt. One or the other.
Nice
You're
shirt.
gonna complete the thing. But the interesting thing is, so I have every different class. My primary is a hunter. David has only played as a Titan. He's Titan only. He's never played as a different class.
I made the other classes.
You did make the other classes. Okay.
I just didn't get far enough ahead of them. Titan, Titans just are great.
You just love Titans.
I love Titans.
So I asked David, I was like, Destiny 2, are you gonna change it up? Are you gonna like play a different one? And he said no.
I said no.
Titan for life. Even though he's never played as a warlock or a hunter.
You're gonna play as that secret new class.
Yeah, the Fallen. Yeah.
If there's a secret new class, I'll think about it.
It hasn't even been a fully announced or fully unveiled yet, so I wouldn't
no
rule it out.
gameplay. No, I'm not.
But for rating, like Defender Titan is,
So you're saying we're getting this again on video? I have proof here
50 years.
If 50 years, Destiny 2. No, if there's a new class, you will play that over a Titan. Come on, David, just say yes.
Oh god, this is
your new primary.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
If they do come out with a fourth class, I will play that.
There you go. We got it. I got him to say it on camera.
So when does Destiny 2 come out?
September. But the reveal is in 7 days from now. The first gameplay.
So there's gonna be a big press pause.
I'm gonna do it. I think David's out of town.
I'm out of town, but
so I will record something. It will just be me just shivering with my cat mug, talking about Destiny 2. Fidgeting with this thing.
We're going to talk about the games we're playing, so I'm going to go ahead and start out.
You're starting first. You're the host, and you take it. I'm just kidding.
Sure. What have you been playing?
What have you been playing, David?
I've been playing Bloodborne.
David, I'm sorry I give you a hard time. I'm just teasing with you,
And it's a great game. The game gives me a little bit of anxiety. It's like you don't play it after you've been drinking.
You cannot play that game drinking.
No,
yeah.
I was at like 60,000 blood souls.
Mm-hmm. That's how you level up your character. So you can make your character stronger, but only if you go back to the hub world.
And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to die. I'm going to lose all my progress. I just wasted an hour of gameplay. But I did make it that time. Other times, I have not been so lucky.
It's one of my favorite games on the PS4. Like, I love that game. Like, the art direction's amazing. I agree with what David was saying earlier. It's not a game that gives you the story, but the weird thing is the environment and what they say to you is a story. There's a lot of lore to it, and they're actually, I'll send you the link. I'll put a link in the description. There's this guy named Vidvidi, and he does all the lore, and the amount of story in these games is crazy, but they're not given to you via cutscenes, via anything that happens. So it's crazy because, like you said, you're like, what does any of this mean? And it's like, it's all told through the background and weird. It's almost like I'm not even joking. It's like the David Lynch of video games is Bloodborne.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah. So it's like it's the most bizarre, deep storyline that you just kind of have to figure out by talking to NPCs, talking to windows, and you could totally miss the window where you talk and learn something, and you can join covenants and stuff like that. But it is an extremely hard game. Are you gonna beat it though? Are you gonna get through the whole thing?
Yeah, I plan to beat it.
In 50 years.
Yeah. Everything with David, 50 years.
So there's like a lot. Usually I plow through games. I beat Horizon Zero Dawn in really 2 sittings. Because I really enjoyed the game. Bloodborne, I definitely enjoy it, but if I die, then
you get frustrated and you don't want to do it again.
I rage quit and
because you can lose hours of progress.
Yes.
So at the most I've gone without savings like an hour and a half, and I happen to die at that.
Aaron, have you played any of the Souls games or Bloodborne?
I have played all of them except for Dark Souls 3. That's one that just came out.
Did you beat any of them?
I didn't know. I would get Dark Souls 1. I played Demon Souls for 10 minutes, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Dark Souls. I think I got farther in Dark Souls 1 than I did in any of the other ones.
Right.
Dark Souls 2. Same thing as Demon Souls, and then Bloodborne comes out, and I flew through the first maybe 4 or 5 hours of Bloodborne. I think the day came out, I met you, or like that week is the first time I met you, and I was telling you how I beat the first boss in one try, and you're like, wow. I had such a hard time with it, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, the bridge boss, your first time.
The first time.
The bridge boss, okay, yeah, it took me
2 tries.
2 tries?
Yeah. That's normally, 2 tries is good.
Father Gascon.
The guy.
That took me a few times, but I still was able to do it. The one where it started losing me was the one who's on, I don't even think he was a boss. He was just on a rooftop, just shooting at
Gatling gun guy.
That bastard, I couldn't get to him. And
We both cheesed him. I told David the secret. I was like, if you just like have him come at you, he can roll off.
He falls off. That's what happened to me.
I didn't even try to cheese him. He just jumped.
He just did.
He just jumped, yeah.
I wanted to fight the guy, and then you just exit the game, you get his items, and I'm like, I didn't mean to cheese.
I always say this though. So here's the thing with these games is they are hard, but don't be scared because you have unlimited lives. If you ever suck, you can just grind and level up your character to get farther. You can get stronger. You know, if you can't beat a boss or something, I know that like it sucks to lose a lot of progress. That is the shitty part. But you can always just get stronger so you get better at it. And then the other thing about it is all of the Souls games, even Bloodborne, they have co-op that you can have a friend come into the game and help you on a boss. Now,
oh god, the co-op is awful.
Now, admittedly, it is a fucking nightmare to connect. I was trying to
making system's terrible.
I was trying to connect you for how long? It's probably like
at least you're like 15 minutes.
Yeah, probably like 20 minutes.
It takes us like 10 minutes to figure out how to do it, and then you have to buy an item. I have to ring my bell.
Well, once you have the items, but like we have the bells, you have to be in the same area. It's just a nightmare. Yeah, and I'm like, David, stand on top of these stairs, face the moon, don't move, and I'll try to connect to you.
You think it does it on purpose because you must really need the help? Or?
It's just I don't know.
It's interesting because if I die, then Matt gets kicked out of my
feel like
game.
Japanese developers are not good at multiplayer games for some reason.
They just don't want to make us happy.
Yeah, they just don't want to make you happy. But like, it's mostly I've noticed most of the like. Their artwork is amazing. The single player games are amazing, but something about networking is just terrible with most Japanese games. And this one especially is just like a nightmare to try to do co-op or connect and something like that.
I think I did it one time and I had no issue with it.
Really?
One time I killed the boss and that was kind of...
You probably brought an NPC in though. So
I could have.
The weird thing is they have things on the floor that you can summon either a person or an NPC. You probably just got an NPC and those always work.
Maybe old hunter, like Henrietta.
Henrietta,
I picked her up to fight Amelia, and it was super easy.
David, you're gonna be happy about this. Is E3, which is coming up, I think T-minus 1 month.
Demon's Souls 2?
No. Bloodborne 2.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, Bloodborne 2 is gonna be announced.
Aaron, so what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I have some days I really, really love it.
Aaron, hold on. You really like Ubisoft.
I like Ubisoft.
games.
I'm not even lying. Ubisoft is my absolute
It's your
favorite.
jam,
It's my
man.
favorite.
Hook it up to my veins.
I love I don't say every, but I love most Ubisoft games.
Yeah.
And the formula, everyone hates that formula, the climb the mountain or the climb the tower, whatever it is.
They love towers in Ubisoft games.
Ghost Recon, actually, Tom Clancy's always kind of stayed away from that typical Ubisoft formula that we're used to. I've always been a fan of the Tom Clancy games. Never too big on Ghost Recon until this one.
Yeah.
And this one, why I think it's so good, it's just the perfect game to play with in co-op.
I heard that it's like a super solid, like if you are with your friends, it's just an amazing friend game.
It's so fun because you can... the way you can set things up, if you're playing by yourself, it's actually really easy. You can fly through missions in 2 minutes.
It's probably not fun even.
It's not fun single player because there's a lock on where you can tag certain enemies and you just literally hold
Splinter Cell, right?
Splinter Cell, but you don't do it, your team does it. And the guy can be 3 miles away on a mountain and you're in a church behind a wall and somehow he snipes him through the thing. As long as you got the lock on him, he gets that guy.
Okay.
It's completely different when you're playing co-op. It's so much harder and so much more difficult. You have to play as a team, and it really encourages that. A lot of the games, they advertise this, but it doesn't actually come true. You can all just kind of run in there and shoot everybody.
Yeah.
But you have to really plan it. You have to do recon. You have to tag enemies, and you can't all go in there together. You have to kind of sneak around, and they come at you. If the guards get alerted, they're pretty brutal. They don't give up until you're dead. And what's perfect about it is that anything you think you can do, any way you come up with a plan, and it works. Like you say, okay, I'm gonna plant a mine here. I'm gonna lure the guy to that mine. It's gonna set off this explosion. The truck's gonna go flying. Then we're gonna chase them. It just works. Everything you can plant, it just.
It
works.
looks like I've watched a couple of like Twitch stuff and stuff like that. It looks like a really fun game. So you have like a giant map with different drug lords, right?
Yeah, the map
different
areas is massive.
Is massive.
So it's huge,
but like you kill one of them and it like affects the other things or something
exactly.
like that?
So the ultimate goal, I mean, from what I've played so far, is trying to kill the big boss of the cartel.
Of all of the cartel.
El Sueño, who's a scary looking guy. And each section of the map is about, I'd probably say about 15 different sections. There's a kind of an underboss. So you gotta do your recon, do your investigation, find out who that boss is, kill him, and then you cleared that area. They do have a progression system, which isn't the best.
What's the progression system?
Well, traditionally, every guy you kill, you get XP, right?
Right.
Or every mission you unlock, you get XP, and you level up your guy, you unlock skills, whatever. And this, you collect your skill points. They're just hidden throughout the world, and you got to collect them. You can go to a laptop, and you
push. So you just find them in like a cave.
You find them in a cave, in a house, and you just that's
so
your skill.
They're literally collectibles, yeah.
Yeah, the skill point. Everything is a collectible. You don't progress. Anyway,
by killing things?
Nope, you just find it. The only times you get a gun is if you kill a boss, you get his gun, which you can't customize. Customization is a pretty great thing about it. There's so many options for guns, some clothing options, but that's what's disappointing is that they don't really do anything for your character. It's all cosmetic stuff. It does nothing.
Right. This is the first Ghost Recon that is almost like not like Ghost Recon at all.
What this Ghost Recon reminds me of is a co-op Metal Gear 5. Like, it's almost the exact same style of game, just with your buddies. It's not as smooth as Metal Gear 5. If you can combine just the gameplay style of Metal Gear 5 with, what the best parts of Ghost Recon, you have the perfect game, like the perfect co-op game.
Right. What a good comparison too, because I liked Metal Gear Solid 5 a lot, but it did get very repetitive. Like once you figured out like how to, go into it and like you can use these items to like do this and that. It's like it was the same thing over and over, almost copy and paste.
And where Ghost Recon improves on that is you're not in the same map over and over again like you were in Metal Gear 5. Each section you're going to has vastly different environment. You're in jungles, you're in snow, you're in mountains, you're in farmland, so it has that variety.
But do you have a half-naked bikini model hanging out with you that's a sniper?
Yeah, but you never see her because she's always hiding. So.
Yeah.
Quiet has brought wonders to the cosplay community.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. It's like it's hard being a feminist, but also being a male because it's like at one point you're just like, okay, this is super sexist to make a character that's always in a bikini, but on the other token you're just like, oh my god.
But you have to use her.
All those cosplayers, though, like David said, are amazing. So I don't know. I'm split on Quiet. Like half of me is like, this is the worst character, and then other times I'm like, this is the best character.
Yeah. So overall, what did you think about Ghost Recon?
Ghost Recon.
2 thumbs up, 1 thumb up.
I want to say just a thumb and a half because if
thumb and a half, that's a weird one. Yeah.
If you have friends to play
it's a new
with,
rating.
Get it. If you're on the fence about it, get it. It's worth giving it a shot.
So I guess I'm the last person to talk about what I've been playing.
What are you playing, Matt? Tell us.
That's a good question, Aaron.
Destiny,
just Destiny. No, I did complete the book, but that's not what I've been playing. What I just started, and I absolutely fucking love it, and I highly recommend it, is Prey. So for those of you who don't know, Bethesda bought the rights to Prey. Prey used to be this game by the guys who made Duke Nukem 3D Realms. And it used to be a game where it's like this Indian named Tommy fights aliens. And that came out in like 2002, 2003. It was whatever, and it was more like Quake where you went upside down and stuff. Bethesda bought the rights. They were gonna do this Prey 2 where you're an alien bounty hunter. That got canceled, never happened. And out of nowhere, they took Arcane. Arcane is the guys that built Dishonored. For those of you who don't know that what Dishonored was, it's kind of like Thief, it's kind of like System Shock, it's kind of like Bioshock. Basically, it's kind of like Matt's jam. That's like my super jam. One of my favorite games, for those of you that you don't, we're only on episode 2. Those of you that don't know me, one of my favorite games is System Shock 2. I love System Shock 2. I love Bioshock. I love combining first persons with RPG elements, and this game feels like a 2017 System Shock game. But here's the cool thing, is these aliens have broken out. You kind of are figuring out, like, kind of like Bioshock, like figuring out Rapture, you know, like what happened here, why are there splicers, blah, blah, blah. And same gameplay. It's like you have an inventory, you can pick up anything, you can throw it. But the difference with this game is any object in any room is basically called a mimic. So these aliens can transform into anything. So for example, if you enter a room and you see two weird cat mugs, one of
them's an alien.
One of them is an alien, so it makes you really paranoid, where you have to literally...
So any room you go into?
Any room you go into.
Smash.
This is super intriguing.
So I grab a wrench and I literally hit everything because I'm so paranoid. I just like the fact that it's like everything's inventory, so it's like it's the same inventory where you drag and drop, you can combine weapons, you can upgrade them, you have powers like Bioshock, again, the same thing. You can do telekinesis where you throw things, and it's all like inventory system where you can recycle things. So like you pick up items like used cigars, banana peels, you put them in this machine and it breaks them down into these cubes, and then you can actually forge new weapons and items and turrets. And you can either be like an engineer where you hack turrets, or you could be like a super soldier where you're super strong, or you know, it has all these different like RPG paths. And then eventually, like at the point I am now, which is probably about like, I want to say like 9 hours in, you start getting the alien powers. You have telekinesis, you can mimic, you can turn yourself into a cup and hide, you can, any item you can copy, like this microphone you can turn into. I really, really like it. The one thing I'll say that I don't like about it is the variety of enemies is kind of limiting. Like, the aliens are these weird shadow creatures, you know? The mimics that turn into things, it's either you have a mimic that's kind of like a spider, like the head crabs from Half-Life 2, or you have these like humanoid ones. And that's pretty much the only two enemies for about half of the game, because I want to say like I'm pretty well into it, like again, like 10 hours. I think it's probably going to be like a 20 or 30 hour game. So far it's like the amount of enemies in it is kind of lacking, but everything else I like. I love it. I love the aesthetic. I love the music. It's the guy who did the Doom music, and he's fucking amazing. And this song is like 80 synth. It's like Drive. It's like Carpenter Burnt. It's like Dance with the Dead. It's so good. It Follows, if you've seen that movie, like it's totally my jam. So I really dig it.
Is it so as fast paced and in your face as Bioshock, or does it have that kind of stealth element that Dishonored has?
So you can it's definitely not as stealth as Dishonored or Thief. There is a whole tier of upgrading that you can upgrade for stealth. Sure. But it's definitely not.
You're still going to get in there.
It's not as stealthy, but it's not aggressive. You die very quickly in this game if you are extremely aggressive. The enemies hit very hard. You can upgrade your health, you can upgrade your speed, you can upgrade different tiers like that to make you last a little bit longer. And you, again, as you go, you get more powers, but at any given time, any of these aliens can kill you. You're very weak, which I think is really refreshing, because then it's like you actually have to think about it. You know, there's so many games where it's like Bioshock, like especially like those like Bioshock or even Dishonored, where once you have so many powers, it's just like you're a god. It's like nothing can fuck with you. You can throw people, you can do this. This game is not like that. Like, so far, again, I haven't beat it yet, but it might get like that towards the end. But right now, I feel like even though I have powers now that I can like even do telekinesis and do some crazy ass shit where I turn into stuff, I could die at any time. So you have to really think about combat. You have a gun that doesn't hurt anything. It's basically a goo gun, and it makes goo foam, and you use this to help you in multiple ways. You can use it to like get to different places in the environment. You can also use it to freeze enemies, or you can use it to stop environmental hazards. It's like, for example, there's like electricity, you can shoot the goo on it, the foam goo, to stop the electricity, or if there's a fire, you can shoot that. The level design in this is so well executed, it feels organic. Where it's like you memorize these areas, they're so interesting and they connect in unique ways that if you find, there's always multiple ways to get into a single room. You can either search a dead body and find a key card, a password. You can find a key card on another person. You can blow up a wall. You can find a vent. But unlike Deus Ex Mankind, which I just played, it feels like natural, like it feels like this makes sense. Where in Deus Ex Mankind, it was like there's just a giant human-sized vent, like for some reason that you can always crawl through. This, it makes sense why they would be like a space that you can get into. It just feels real. They executed this like so well on the level design. Again, it's unfortunate that the enemy design is not as interesting as the world design.
And what's good about, as long as the navigating, you said it feels organic, what was kind of dumb about Deus Ex, to some extent Dishonored, that you have, a mission that takes place where you have to go to this store. And then it just so happens that store has a vent that leads to the exact apartment that you have to break into. It seems forced, it's there, to look for vents.
Exactly.
So I think the fact that it seems organic.
This is like the vents are really well hidden, where it's like if you find them, it's almost like an award where you feel like you're smart. You're like, you have to kind of like look at the space and understand space and be like, okay, where would this connect to and how else could I get into there? Where it's Deus Ex, you just go around like, I can't go through the front, I'm gonna go right, here's a vent.
Always check behind the soda machine. Always behind the soda machine.
Like Deus Ex, it's like the lazies man version of this, but I really dig it so far. Honestly, this is crazy, I haven't beaten it. This may change, but right now I think it's the best game I've played this year.
Wow.
It's 70s sci-fi like vibe. Logan's Run, really bizarre sci-fi. Like in this universe, JFK existed. Did not get killed. Sorry, existed. He existed and did not get killed. So there's like a framed picture of JFK.
That's
where
like the perfect world.
He has like really, where he has like gray hair and he like did not get assassinated. So it's like an alternate reality. It's so fucking good, this game. Again, I love BioShock. I don't think it's, to me, like, I love those games. I love System Shock. I don't think it's as good as System Shock 2 or any of the BioShocks, but I think it's better than Dishonored.
1 and 2.
1 and 2. And I love Dishonored. And Deus Ex, the newer Deus Ex. Better than Human Revolution and better than Mankind, which is a crazy-ass thing to say, but it's sci-fi. It's, it feels the closest. It's the spiritual successor to System Shock 2.
Totally unbiased review.
Basically, because that's my favorite games. Enough about Eat, Pray, Love. Let's talk about something else, David.
All right, let's talk about our topic this week.
David picked this, by the way.
Nerd Rage.
Already intrigued. What does it mean?
Just
don't throw that.
Yeah, not the cat mug.
So, where did Nerd Rage, stem from? How long has it been around? When have you ever, thrown a keyboard or smashed your keyboard, or as I think Bill Gates would have said, put peanut butter on a disc and used it as a frisbee?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about with that. Like, what does that mean? Bill Gates said that?
Maybe I
what does the peanut butter do?
I'm drawing that from like the back of my memory.
Okay, that memory bank thing.
It just seemed perfect for this conversation.
Bill Gates used to throw CDs with peanut butter on it.
That's how he made his fortune.
Some crazy fucking facts.
Yeah, so we don't use CDs anymore. But so
the floppy disk would jam.
I'm trying to think, like, when I think I played my first online game when I was 9 years old.
Wait, just to clarify, you want to know like rage from other people and ourselves? You're just talking in general, gaming rage.
I'm talking in general. Did you ever rage? Or did you experience? Were you the victim of rage or cyber kind of bullying online through a video game platform?
Right. All right. So now tell us your experience.
First online game I ever played. StarCraft when I was 9 years old.
That's the first game you ever played?
First online game.
Online game, okay.
Yeah. So
Did that have voice chat, StarCraft?
No.
Oh, so you got raged on text then, via text.
People were raging at me because I was a noob.
But via text?
Via text.
So what did they say to you? Like, what was the kind of stuff they said to you?
Oh, you're gay. A lot of you're gay.
That's the go-to.
That's the go-to on online.
That was the go-to in, like, what was that, 98?
And so you were 11?
How old am I?
How old are you, David?
27.
Okay.
He's 55.
I'm 55.
He's
I'm old as
55.
fuck.
Oh man, I forgot about that. Yeah, so you won't live to see VR. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, I'm not making it. Yeah.
Or him finish Bloodborne.
Yeah. One or the other.
yeah, you get a lot of people where it's like, wow, you're fucking stupid, you suck, you know.
But again, this is all via like little chat
This is all
message.
via text. This is still not really
So you're-
voice chat.
You're building.
You're playing other people in these games.
So
in
I-
Warcraft 3 and StarCraft, you play against one other person, right?
It's 2 to 4, depending.
2 to 4. Okay, so you're getting shit talked. I'm just trying to explain this to the audience. You're getting shit talked by like 4 other people via a text chat.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you.
And they're just like, you're gay, you suck, kind of stuff.
You're gay, you suck, kill yourself, uninstall.
Okay.
And.
Uninstall?
Yeah. Uninstall
That's
the
a good
game.
one. I like
Yeah.
that one.
That's a good
It is
diss.
a good one. It's a good
Uninstall.
oldie bit of classic.
I like that one nicer. It's nicer than
Nicer.
homophobic slurs, yeah.
Yeah.
Graduate to, I think, after Warcraft 3, you know, other games, and then World of Warcraft, we had what was called the Barons Chat. And the Barons Chat was just a toxic place where you were all in the same area. And
What is the Baron chat, though? Again, is this a
the
chat
Barons-
client? What the fuck is this?
The Barons was a geographic location in World of Warcraft for the Horde that it would be like a combination of newer and older players. It was like a place you had to... It was kind of like a crossroads, like where you had to get to other places.
All right, so to
It'd
recap
be a
this,
lot of
David, you
shit
got
talk.
bashed on via text most of the time, is what you're saying, most of your youth. Like via
Most of
like
my
text.
youth, I got
But it
bashed
still
via
affected
text.
you, though. Did it affect you? Did it hurt your feelings?
Yeah.
Would you ever
a little
text
bit.
back?
Yeah, you know, I would...
What did you call them?
Did you get homophobic and terrible as well? Did you say these guys are gay? I hope you didn't, David. I hope you were better, but you were 11, so did you say shit back?
11, yeah, you know, I've stopped doing that for a while, but yeah.
You said some terrible shit?
I
That
said
you
some
regret
terrible-
now?
I said, no, I don't regret it, but I did.
And now in 27, you don't regret saying that shit?
27. No, I said terrible shit too, you know, it's like, yeah, that's,
An eye for an eye.
yeah, it takes a while to realize, oh, dude,
Horrible
that's
people
not
I'm
cool.
doing this
Like,
chat with.
And now, you know, we've got MOBAs, we've got FPS, and I'm saying those are the most toxic environments.
But for
I
you,
don't have
I'm
any
just...
specific stories.
So your specific stories limit to you being shit talked via text chat on
Baron's chat.
being Baron's chat, whatever the fuck that is, via these basically Blizzard games, right?
Basically Blizzard games, yeah.
This is your traumatic childhood was Blizzard games.
So where does the rage come from now?
Yeah, where's the rage coming from now, David?
I mean, it wouldn't be, it'd be... The rage is mostly dying unexpectedly or, having a new team member, but I have the self-control, the discipline to say, you know what, okay, this guy, let's work with this guy, it's kind of like being in, management. It's like, you know what, all right, so you didn't do that great this time, well, how can we make this better? It's all about being constructive rather than being like, oh, you suck, you should quit your job. Uninstall.
Yeah.
So...
What about you, Aaron?
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten any terrible shit said to you?
You ever break anything?
My nerd rage. So it was actually a game that I absolutely hated. Driver 1 for PC.
For PC?
PC, yeah.
Wow.
And it was on my mother's Windows 98. I couldn't even get past the tutorial. This game was impossible for me. I couldn't get past the tutorial. I would go into free mode, I would enjoy that, but whenever I would try to start I think it was a story mode, you had to do this tutorial and you had to get a perfect score. And they wanted you to do, turns and the basic stuff. And then they wanted you to do this burnout move in a figure 8, and I could never do it. And every time I would get so close, I would just smash
the controller.
I would smash the controller. I would smash the scanner that was next to me. I would smash the scanner that was next to me.
So this is an example of your outward rage.
This
not the inward rage. This is your rage.
This is pure outward rage where I had no control.
This wasn't like the AI was calling you gay.
No, the AI wasn't saying I was. It was saying I was,
uninstall.
yeah, exactly. I wasn't being told to uninstall because I couldn't burn out. So every time I would get so close and I would smash it, and then finally I did it, and I was so excited that I'm like, yes! And I smashed the scanner.
Oh, so you were... You smashed it out of excitement.
Out of excitement that time. Because I was so frustrated.
That wasn't rage, that was more excitement.
The last time was more excitement.
Yeah.
But it all came from the rage that built up in me for so many weeks that I couldn't finish this damn tutorial.
Right.
And months later, my mom decides she wants to go and scan a picture. She lifts up the scanner and the glass is completely shattered, and I wasn't allowed to use her computer.
And she just shook her head. She's like, driver 1.
I was not allowed to use her computer.
Typical driver 1.
Exactly. That's my first experience in rage.
With your own rage, yeah.
With my own rage, yeah.
That's a lot of rage. You literally broke a scanner/printer.
Yeah, it was. I mean, if you played that game, it was frustrating. Anyone who has, you know how annoying and terrible.
What about rage towards you? Have
rage
you ever
towards me? Oh, I had a ton of rage towards me, but I wouldn't even give an example. I would want to tell you something funny that actually just happened recently to a buddy of mine who I didn't even know it was possible. You know how you can give feedback on when you're playing online?
Yeah. You can report a player and
exactly.
Kind of give
and now
feedback,
it's easier to get proof with the game DVR and all that.
Oh yeah, you can record gameplay things.
So,
you can be like, this person is a cheater. This person said this,
and you can prove it now. You can actually show them and you can hear them. So I have this buddy of mine who, he's the one who gets so mad at Call of Duty when we play Call of Duty or even any multiplayer game. He gets so mad specifically at Call of Duty that he starts saying the most awful things to people. I'm not even gonna repeat them. They're so bad that his
he sounds like a terrible person. Yeah.
he's a good person, but it's it's
I don't know about
that's what happens. You tell people to uninstall it, the clean version of what I said. So I didn't know this was possible. That one day I sign on and I see his thing, and it says because of the thing like he needs work. That's what it said. The first thing says needs work. I'm like, what? I've never seen this before. And then he's like, all right, I gotta get better. I'm like, yeah, you gotta get better because you're probably gonna get banned if you don't shape up. He's like, yeah, I won't get better. The very next game we play, he gets mad, starts screaming at somebody. Eventually, it got to the point now when you log on, you look at his name, it literally says avoid me. No joke, it says avoid me. Wow. And he can't even join games. He has to, he can't be in our party. He has to join a game by himself, and everyone else in that lobby also is supposed to be avoided.
Not because he's verbally abusive, but because he sucks?
No, because
he's abusive.
For verbally abusive, he team kills people. He doesn't let other people join.
Okay, so
your friend's the worst.
So he's the worst.
Team kills are the worst.
He's a great in person, but on game,
on games,
in Call of Duty, he's a terrible human being.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like, this is gonna either make me sound great to certain people or terrible to other people. I am a super feminist. I'm a super left person where I relate to, like, I don't like when anyone says gay or anything like that. And
you lost half your audience.
Yeah. Right there, I know. Half the audience that are gamers are just like, who the fuck is this social justice warrior? But it's true. So, like, whenever I play online games, I've dealt with the most heinous shit, and I'm not gay. It shouldn't offend me that much, but even at the start of Destiny 1, when anyone would say, that's gay, and they're not even using it in, like, a derogatory term, they're just kind of using it in, like, a casual term. That stupid term. Even that would offend me, where I'm like, look, I just don't want to play with someone that's toxic. Like, I don't want to play with you online if you're going to be sexist, homophobic, or racist. I have a friend, and he's a very good friend. His name's Moses. I'm going to name drop here. And he's Jewish, and he's a very nice guy. But he always says, he's like, Matt, everyone's quasi-racist in some way. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not racist.
I think we're all a little racist, but
people think that. I'm not racist. So it's like, when people like Moses say that, it's like, he's like, we all understand that there's stereotypes or innate things about different cultures that are funny. But I'm like, yeah, but again, like, it's a difference if you are that thing, and it's how you present that. So, for example, if Moses makes a joke about Jewish people, this is getting really controversial right now, but if he's Jewish, so if he makes a joke like, it's like, oh, that's because I'm Jewish, that's fine. I'm not going to take offense. He is that thing. It's bizarre, and it's like a double standard, but it's what it is. It's context matters. So, like, if someone that's gay calls me gay when we're playing online, then it's like, I don't care. They've earned the right to make that joke. And again, in fun, if you know each other, and it's not. It's all about the context of what it is. So like when I'm playing online with a random person and they just say like these guys are gay, I'm gonna immediately leave that team. Like I don't give a fuck if these guys are fun or they're good, or it's like I've been in many raids in Destiny where someone will start saying some like racist, homophobic shit. I just don't want to deal with that toxicity. Like I don't want to even listen to it. Like, and that's me, and that's just like who I am, and I'm not trying to stand on my high horse, but I just think we should aim to be better. And it's like, it's not funny, it's not it doesn't even offend, it's just annoying. I just feel it's really juvenile. That kind of rage is not even really rage, it's just awfulness, you know? Like what I can take from people is I've been in many situations, and I've not been, so speaking of rage, by the way, so I've been in many situations where I have given out rage. Like David has been on the receptive end of my rage, especially on Destiny raids, where he doesn't know what to do.
You just blocked it out of your mind.
He just blocked it out of his mind. Where I'll be like, David, jump on his back. David, jump on his back. David, jump on his back. And then David will fuck up, and I will just be like, what the fuck, David? Uninstall. You know, I'll be really mad at him. And a lot of times, I have pissed off certain friends. Episode 1 of this very show, we had Chris Mertens. Again, I got him through some raids. He doesn't play Destiny as much as me, but like I would literally be in King's Fall and I'd be like, jump on your platform, Chris, and I would just yell at him. I'm like, fucking Chris, you know, like I get so mad. But the only reason I would get that mad is because we would be at it for hours, you know, like I have like this breaking point.
So you should know this by now.
At this point, and I'm not trying to like say I'm in the clear.
Avoid him.
Yeah, but at a certain point, I will break in a raid. You know, like if we're doing the same thing 100 times and it's not clicking, you know, or David's been drinking too much and he doesn't remember which platform to jump on. Like it's like 1, 2, 3.
1, 2.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 clockwise. Yep.
Forgets to hit record.
And forgets to hit record on the audio.
Never happened.
Oh my god, that never happened. I will get very angry to the point where it's like I would say unlikable to play with. But at the same token, I'm just saying that is a different type of rage than just being toxic.
Just being a bad human being.
Just being a bad human being. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like I can condone people that yell at me, or if I'm doing something wrong, or just kind of like obnoxious, because I've dealt with people that are just fucking yelling all the time and obnoxious with rage, but I can't take toxic people.
And we could be honest with ourselves and say that it's never going to end. There's always going to be that people. As long as it's public and you're anonymous, it's never going to end. Mm-hmm. It's always going to be coming at you. And if you're better than somebody at something, sadly the human race isn't built to handle that.
Yeah.
So people are going to get angry when you beat them, or even if you mess them up, and you're like you were saying, if someone's not as good, someone's going to get angry. As far as you handle it, we try to help them along, but there's going to be people who say get out of here, uninstall, and throw peanut butter dish or something.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the best way of handling it is to just leave, because if you're gonna put your view on it, like let's say someone's saying something homophobic or racist or whatever it is,
yeah,
and then you're gonna start explaining to them why they shouldn't say that, all they're gonna do is come back at you harder. They're gonna tell you why you're wrong.
A lot of people would say you're just too sensitive, you're too soft. Fair enough, but you're just not gonna play with me and my friends, like if you drop stuff like that. And that's how I feel, like.
And yeah, you can say that. You're welcome to, but
it goes both ways. It says he has the freedom to say it, but like we have the freedom to them be like, well, you're not gonna play with us then,
I'm of the mind where if someone is going to, I've, like you said, everyone gets said that you're gay or you're this, you're that. People make fun of you for being a race that you aren't even, you can't even see me. How do you know? Or that you're poor, you don't have money. I mean, virgin's a good one. That's a really popular one. Everyone gets called virgins online. But I'm of the mind where if you are going to say something offensive, I mean, I'm not like you where I'm going to say, like, just get away, don't care. I'm going to ignore it. And if it's not directed towards me, if it's directed at a friend, I'm like, yeah, I'll say something like, hey, man, calm down, don't say that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's a world.
Well, you're a lot easier going than me. Yeah.
But we're in a world where we are exposed to people who are anonymous, and it's just something that we're gonna always have to deal with. If
They would never say that stuff
in person.
Never.
No one would ever say it. No one would ever do any of the stuff that happens on the internet in real life. But you have to.
But that's why I won't condone it online.
Sure.
Because it's like, if you won't condone it in person, why are you condoning that online then? You know, it just creates an easy, safe space for these people to be fucking terrible. I think we got to change that with the internet. You know, like, everyone's fucking terrible on the internet.
It's such a hard thing to do, though.
No, it is. I know.
I don't think we'll see it in 50 years. And
in 50 years, David.
So I'm gonna get some 9-year-old in virtual reality that's played by some like 50-year-old dude is gonna come up to me and be like, you're totally gay.
Yeah. Why is it always 9-year-olds telling you you're gay?
Uninstall.
Yeah.
This wraps it up in Press Pause Games Weekly. We've already got a few new shows, and
we got Rewind, Retro, now showing, and now we might do a TV show with Aaron.
Cool. And aside from that, we have Patreon. So
we want to get a better camera. We want to get better microphones. We want to get better stuff for you to make you better videos.
Better hosts.
Better hosts. Yeah.
Yeah.
In general. Yeah, we're going to CGI me and David. Like, there's going to be avatars here with Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like...
You'll just have the cat talking.
We're going to be like
really cool.
Palpatine. Yeah, we're going to get some animators.
No, we want better equipment to make better videos for you, so please, check out our Patreon. Please like and subscribe also. It helps us a lot. We have a Facebook. Please like us there. We have a Twitter. Please like us there. We have a Reddit page. I mean, we have everything. David's going to start doing some Twitch stuff soon. Maybe we'll get like a drunk Bloodborne. If you thought this was boring, if you thought this was great, if you want to hear us talk about different topics, tell us in the comments below. Like,
if you didn't like me.
If you hated Aaron, you're like, don't let that fucking guy do a TV show. Or if you're like, what the fuck? The fuck is David doing with his beard? Why does he pick it? No, I do that. I'm the picker.
I'm the fidgeter.
Like and subscribe.
But like, let us know in the comments what you want to see in the future. Let us know what we can do to make this a better show, because honestly, we're doing it for you, the viewers. Like, as fun as this is to talk to each other, if we do have a good time, it is for us too. But like, we want to make a good show for you as well. Yep. So let us know what you want.
Well said.
Yep.
Rob a bank. Learn how to rob a bank first.
Yeah. And Payday 2.
And then give us all your money.
Yep. Yeah. And then give us all your money. True.
Yeah.
All right.
You'll be like Robin Hood.
Thanks for watching.